I'm Nagaswati, working as an assistant professor and head of the Department of Commerce with Computer Applications, Mannar Thirumalai Nayakar College, Madurai, Tamil Nadu. Today we are going to see the topic of life cycle of an applet in the Java programming course. The life cycle of an applet. So an applet is a special type of program embedded in the web page to generate dynamic content. So applet is a class in Java also. The applet lifecycle can be defined as the process of how the object is created, started, stopped and destroyed during the entire execution of its application. So it basically has five core methods, namely init of, start of, stop of, paint of and destroy of. So these methods are invoked by the browser to execute. So along with the browser, the applet also works on the client side, thus having less processing time also. Now we are going to see the applet lifecycle and what are the methods it is using. So newborn state using the init of method. When the run state moved to idle state, the stop of method is executed, and the idle state to run state, start of method is executed. In the run state, the paint of method also used. From the idle state to the dead state, destroy of method is used. So these are the methods which are used in the applet lifecycle. In the next slide, we are going to see the methods, how they are working in the applets. So the first method is init of method. So normally the init of method, that is initialization. So that's what they are using, init of method. So init, it is the first method to run that initializes the applet. Obviously it can done. It can be invoked only once at the time of initialization. So the web browser creates the initialized objects, that is the web browser, after checking the security settings, runs the init of method within the applet. So there is no main method unlike our normal Java programs. Every applet will start its execution from initialization method. So it is executed only once, we have already seen. The coding for initialization, public void init of. This is the syntax of init of. The next method is start of method. Start of method contains the actual code of the applet and starts the applet, and it is invoked immediately after the initialization method is invoked. So every time the browser is loaded, refreshed, the start of method is invoked. So it is invoked whenever the applet is maximized, restored or moving from one tab to another in the browser. So in the start of method, it executes when the browser is maximized restored, right? The syntax of startup method is public void startup. The next we are going to see the paint off method. The paint off method is called each time an AWT based applets output, that is abstract window toolkit based applets output. So this situation can occur for several reasons. For example, the window in which the applet is running may be overwritten by another window and then uncovered, or the applet window may be minimized and then restored. So whenever it happens, the paint off method is activated. So paint off method is used to display the content on the applet. So we can create the objects or components to the applet, or we can directly write a message on the applet. It will take graphics class as a parameter. So the syntax of paint off is public void paint of graphics G. The stop of method stops the execution of the applet. Obviously, it is invoked whenever the applet is stopped, minimized or moving from one tab to another in the browser, and also the stop of method is invoked. When we go back to that page, the start of method is invoked again. The stop of method syntax is public void stop of. The next method is destroy of. The destroy of method, the words contains the destroys the applet after its work is done. So it is invoked when the applet window is closed or when the tab containing the web page is closed. So it removes the applet object from one memory and executed in only once. We cannot start the applet once it is destroyed. This is the flow of applet lifecycle. These methods are invoked by the browser automatically. There is no need to call them explicitly. So already we have seen these methods: init of method, start of method, and the paint of method, stop of method, and destroy of method. So here you can see the flow that stop of method goes to the start of method. Some of the features of applets over the HTML. In the applet, it displays dynamic web pages of web applications, and also it plays sound files, it displays documents, and also it plays animations. So we have seen applet lifecycle and some features of the applet also. Finally, we are going to see the restrictions imposed on Java applets. Due to the security reasons, the following restrictions are imposed on Java applets. An applet cannot load libraries or define native methods. An applet cannot ordinarily read or write files on the execution host. It cannot read certain system properties. It cannot make network connections except to the host that it came from. An applet cannot start any program on the host that's executing it. So today we have seen the applet lifecycle, features of applet, and restrictions imposed on Java applets. Thank you.